But to start last week with the announcement that Monday Night Raw, whatever the hell Michael Cole used to say, the longest episodic weekly, blah, 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 blah. It's been a staple of professional wrestling fandom for over 30 years. And now it's finally coming to an end in January of 2025. It will no longer be on free television, or I guess cable television, not on USA, not on TNN, not on Spike, not going to Fox either. Behind a paywall on a streaming app. People have talked about this for a long time. Now we know it's finally going to happen. And something that I don't think a lot of people talked about in this was this may spell the end of the WWE Network. I want to talk about the WWE Network and what the resolution of all that may be, but were you surprised to hear that Monday Night Raw would be going to Netflix behind a paywall?
Connie, I am so disappointed in you.
Really?
Well, we're not even, we're not going to even dive into the NFL leaking their script. And it was,
right. Hilarious.
It was on a Canadian broadcast. The Chiefs and the 49ers will be in the Super Bowl before they played the game. I'll just leave it here, Connie. Follow the money. I don't think there are no coincidences in life, only convergences. So I'll just kind of leave that right there. Conrad?
I thought it said the Lions were going. I thought that leak said the Lions. Was it the 49ers? Wow.
No coincidences, just convergences, pal. I was just going to blue, and also, back when we came out of the war, the Patriots actually.
Oh, wait. You know what? The leak said Reba McEntire, Usher, and Post Malone are slated to perform at the San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl matchup on February 11th. Oh, so they got the 49ers right, but they got the Chiefs wrong.
Did they say the Ravens in the league?
They said the Ravens, but I mean, if you're really watching the show, by the way, the show, I mean, the Chiefs games, they've become a show because of Taylor Swift.
It's unbelievable. 330 million new fans to the NFL. I don't see how that's possible.
Well, I thought that was brand value that was added, that they had added $300 million worth of value to the NFL.
Yes,
I thought was more believable. But still, you got to think what they want is Travis Kelce picking up Taylor Swift on the field with all the confetti, holding the Super Bowl championship, saying, I'm going on tour or whatever the hell. That's what they want.
And he was 10 for 10 in the first half yesterday. Just funny how all this works out.
It is.
Anyway, what a monster rating the NFL just continue. It's a juggernaut, and you know how you like numbers. I'm amazed, and this will dive into the Netflix, the Amazon Prime game on Thursdays, huge numbers throughout the year. You just like, how is that possible? And then you went into the Peacock game that was on streaming, and you could see all the online haters out there. I can't believe they put the playoff game on Peacock. And our man, a lot of chatter, Dave Green, said, get used to it. Everybody bitched when it went to cable. Things aren't going in reverse. And lo and behold, Raw debuted, 92? Here it is in 2024.
93, I think.
93, yeah. Because yes. I wonder, yeah, because that debuted into 93. So it was, yeah. Anyhow, and just, TBS on Saturday nights was on a national cable. They had migrated through the years, but the first prime time weekday, they were in the first place. They got there first, and everybody had their. I mean, you certainly did. Any wrestling fan, any Raw watcher had, hey, it's going to go here, going to go there, and everybody was going down the Amazon trail and blah 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 blah. But what do I think about Raw landing on Netflix? In a lot of ways, it's about time. The progression, the way the world is heading, Netflix, in a lot of ways, mirrors a lot of things. They were the first to really launch the streaming. They got in there first. So Raw was the
And
first.
I think they're still the only profitable streaming service around.
I saw that online in a couple of different places. And just continue to grow and to continue to grow. And, you know, back to the I always reference my own personal experiences, but, you know, in the TNA days when we're selling our program around the world, you know, you would always have that mind, man, I wish there was one big media conglomerate that could buy up Australia and India and Africa, and you just have to do one contract. Well, there it is. I mean, just the progression of not just wrestling, just the way entertainment is consumed. And I think it's a win, win, win. Win for Netflix, win for WWE, and win for the wrestling fan. Because I think you're going to get the network all under one. You're going to get obviously all the premium live events. It's going to morph into, if you want to watch the WWE, you're going to Netflix. And I think it's a smart move. And I think you got to look down the road at all other wrestling promotions. Obviously, AEW is my home promotion. So where does all this head? It's going to be very interesting to see how things develop. But hats off to the vision, if you will, of the WWE and Netflix to have this come together, because obviously Netflix folks know their numbers like, you know, they're their own numbers, so they know what's going to work, and they, you know, I think they tip their toe in the water with a comedy special. But to go live 52 weeks a year, professional wrestling can be a turnkey product where all they have to do is accept the stream, and the wrestling promotion does all the rest. It really, really is a good deal for everyone involved.
I wonder about the term of the deal. I think we were all sort of blown away a handful of years ago when WWE announced they were going to get $1 billion from Fox. People lost their mind about $200 million a year for SmackDown. Well, how's $500 million a year sound just 5 years later? Huge feather in the cap for Mr. Nick Khan. You know, let's remind everybody that dude came over in 2020. So you're talking about in less than 4 years, he's the most powerful person in all of wrestling. Totally changed the game, created more revenue than everybody else. It's unbelievable. But when I saw that number, I thought to myself, is there a downside to this? And I started to look, and I saw that the term is what I wanted to talk about. So I do want you to talk about $500 million, because what an incredible amount of money that is. It breaks down to, it's over $3 million an hour to create that content. And as Eric Bischoff has explained before, the cost of an additional hour from, say, 1 hour to 2 or 2 hours to 3 is nominal. It's that first number that's so crazy. So I'm saying all that to say, no matter what they spend, hour 2 and 3 are probably straight cash, homie, right in the pocketbook. But it's a 5-year deal. It's been reported that it's a 10-year deal, but I guess Netflix has the opportunity to get out after 5 years, which I can't imagine they would want to. We don't know how this is going to play out, but this feels like it makes a lot of sense for Netflix in particular. But what got me was they could extend this an additional 10 years. So after 5 years, Jeff, as I understand it, they can decide, do we want to keep this deal and see it through for the full 10-year term? And at the end of that second 5-year stint, so we're 10 years in now, they can say, yeah, let's just do it again for another 10 years. And if the money is the same, what looks like a home run right now, will that be not all that much cash relatively? Will it be considered a good deal in the long term for Netflix? Because just 5 years ago, 200 sounded crazy. And now here's 500. But what will we think about that in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What say you?
I'm not buying that the money stays the same after 10. I don't think it's going to stay the same after 5. I just don't. I think they're going to come back to the drawing board 3 years into this. You know, oh man, Connie, where do we kind of even start on all of this? Because you just said it, $3 million an hour. So Raw's $9 million, production I mean, all the bells and whistles.
Raw's roughly 10 million a week now.
Okay. And so you throw in every kind of production bell and whistle that you could come up with. You have multiple influencers, pop stars. You have your, we'll call it the core weekly talent, all that kind of stuff. It is amazing the amount of money, even if it is all completely global, which I think they'll head there. India is still a big paycheck, Middle East a big paycheck. You know, there's other big paychecks, but they're going to get there. But still, 10 million every Monday. But you have to look at Netflix, and I'm, again, folks a lot smarter than me, but you kind of look at a property, and this is where I look at the professional wrestling industry as a whole, is that it's not, well, in your terminology, sometimes getting its flowers, but you kind of look at the NFL, and outside of 26 quarterbacks, and I'm going to cut that in half, maybe 10 quarterbacks and maybe a couple of skill players. The NBA is, they're hurting like crazy in ratings, but you know, maybe 5 marquee talent. I'm going to go, okay, 10. They got the legends that do the panel hosts. Anyway, what I'm saying is WWE has, what a marketing machine professional wrestling is when you take talent that has all their own social media accounts, and they're their own built-in promoters, and that's where the value just continues to raise. Is that when you know, Succession, you don't see who's the big heel on there, the main heel. I love him. He's playing the character. Who's the dad? What's his name? Real name on Succession?
Logan.
No, yeah, but what's his real name?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, he doesn't in his off time, or he goes and does another show. So he's not going to be out actively promoting Succession. And, you know, I don't think football players or basketball players are out there doing that. Wrestling is it's just that unique form, hybrid form of entertainment that is a lot of self-promoters under one roof. And so that 10 million, I think it's, you know, oh, they're overpaying. No, they're not. I don't believe so. And I just think the wrestling business, it'll contract. It always does. But in the long run, like the stock market, it just getting more and more valuable and bigger and newer highs. So Dane County, when you just put it in those terms, 10 million every Monday.
It's crazy.